right here by head coach Bill Vincent of the boys basketball team. A tough week last week, but we got back on the winning ways last night. A good win against a Chester team last night. Just tell me your thoughts on what last night was.
Yeah, just in a very busy stretch here. I can't remember how it laid out for sure. Maybe 8 games in 12 days, some scenario like that.
Yeah.
At the start of it, very fortunate to get the back wins. Really tough Hamlin team, the defending state champ, come to town.
And number 2 in the state.
Yeah,
it's not like they've fallen off by any means.
Correct. Thought we put up a great fight early on. Spent a lot of energy that night, and it caught up to us, I thought, that weekend. So we just had to talk things through and recharge our batteries and stuff over the long weekend with the Monday off and the cold weather and everything, and shorten up a practice and regroup for going to Chester at Chester, a Big East Conference game. And thought we got back on track. So that was a good feeling for our guys.
It was a huge night for one of your seniors, Maverick Nelson. He drops 30.
Yes.
605 Sports has him at 32. We both have him at 30. But it was 8 3-pointers one way or the other.
Yeah,
a
absolutely.
Great shooting night for Maverick Nelson. Talk about what he did last night.
Take the 32, right? Take the 32 and go. Now, he's that way, and he was motivated. You could sense it leading into the game and the time that he put in and him and Brock Christofferson, how they responded. And Levi Loban as well, and how those guys responded and led this team after dropping a game against McCook Central Montrose that they didn't feel like they should have dropped.
Yeah.
So the response was great, and it didn't show up immediately against a Pine Ridge team that we know how talented they are. We played them for the state consolation championship game a year ago and was fortunate enough to win. But with Marvin Richard III in town and coming off of a 10-day break, they were fresh-minded and hungry for the win, and Marvin Richards went off for 40. But I thought our kids led the right way after the MCM loss and got us back on track last night at Chester. But you're short with it. You move on quickly because we go to Dubrook on Thursday already.
Yeah, tomorrow a big matchup against the Dolphins in white.
Yes.
We'll go back on the road. This week is on the road week, apparently. So.
Yeah, we have to be road warriors, and any game on the road is tough, but especially in conference like it was against Chester, just because your conference opponents know you so well. Same thing with Dubrook, an area school, used to be in our region as well.
Yeah.
You factor all those things in, you always know each other awfully well.
They've got a pretty good coach up there, too.
Yeah.
Jared Gass, he knows how to put his guys together. It seems like they're always solid. I mean, there was a couple years in just the last few seasons where they had just this huge group of juniors that turned into a huge group of seniors. Is he younger this year? I mean, if they finally had to retool some things around the Dubrook area there?
They have another talented squad, that's for sure, and they got a good mix of a couple upperclassmen that hold that team together, but a really good sophomore class and underclassmen that mix in with that. So they're excited. Of course, his son's in that sophomore class. We know them well. They know us well. We're both D. Smith graduates. We both come from Marv McEwen's tree of coaching tree. So it'll be a good game, as always, at Dubrook on Thursday.
What is it about you DeSmit guys, man? You guys are everywhere now.
Yeah, we were spoiled with great role models and mentors, and got us into giving back to the sport of basketball.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of them in that coaching tree that are out there coaching now.
One of the guys that we saw as an opponent in the last week and a half or so, Marvin Richard III.
Yep.
Talk to me about this talent that you guys saw with the Pine Ridge Thorpes. He drops 40 in this gymnasium right here.
Yes.
Is that some sort of record by an opponent in here? When's the last time someone put 40 on you guys?
Yeah.
I
would think so.
I don't want to make it sound smaller than what it is, but what a talent that Marvin Richard III is.
Yeah, of course, we've seen Cossacks do that and go for those numbers but opponents, we were trying to kind of jog our memory back. I remember a Chase Waldner from Castlewood coming in here and putting up some great numbers, shortly after the building was built and stuff. But, you put up a 40 spot on the road in anyone's building, and then to do it in a place that, we have so much pride and stuff in. But he's that talented. And, of course, we knew he was capable of doing that. Could we slow down others? We got behind early. We were really spent from the week, to have an excuse out there.
It's understandable, though.
Yeah, we were really spent. They were really amped up. Coach Casey Means before the game, he says, this is what we've had to talk about since we left the court last year. That was our last taste, was the Sioux Valley Cossacks out there in Rapid City.
Yeah.
On the final day you could be playing basketball last year, and we were fortunate enough to win that night. But they were motivated. They played well. They shot well. For us, though, it fuels you to get back into the gym and to work hard and to do the things that you need to do to be successful when March gets here.
We're going to thank some sponsors, and then we're going to continue the talk. You've got Dubrook tomorrow night. We've got a matchup on Saturday we want to talk about. But first off, we are brought to you in the Coaches Show. Our exclusive presenter is Bankstar Financial. They got locations right here in Volga. Also, my sister station on YouTube,
Correct.
Saul's Media,
Yep.
Oakton Lake Benton. We're following those guys around as well. They've got a spot in Brookings. Bankstar provides big-time business with a small-town feel. So thank you to Bankstar. Bell Brands is a fantastic spot. Bar and Grill down here, downtown Volga. GP Auto, Health Source Chiropractic, sponsors of that halftime show. Precision Risk Management, Shorty's Hot Box Food Truck, and Tropical Smoothie, who is the sponsor of the player of the game, who gave a gift certificate to Maverick Nelson once again last night
he's
with
collected
his
a couple of those.
8 3-pointers. Now, talk about his night from a statistical standpoint. That's 30 points. That's not a high scoring game as far as record breaking, but 8 3-pointers in a night, is that close to knocking something down? Or
both are career bests for him.
Yeah.
So to go out and put 30, and for anyone to put up a 30 spot, you get yourself kind of into a club of not everyone does that all the time.
He's probably going to be on some sort of Taco John's list, athlete of the week. You drop 8 threes in a night, that's huge.
Yeah,
man.
and 8 threes is amazing. I believe that would be a lot of school records.
Right.
Of course, here we've been spoiled.
You've had some shooters come through here, though.
Many guys, and I think that record's out there around 10 or 11 or something. But anytime you can rattle in 8 threes in one game, that's pretty special. What makes him special, though, is he doesn't have to rely on the three-pointer. The next game, it might be everything attacked to the rim or getting to the foul line. The other thing that made that game good is he got that done with a high efficiency level. He really let the game come to him. The ball was spinning and moving. We were getting more sides than maybe we were the couple games before that. Maybe we were getting a little bit stuck. The ball was getting a little sticky. Wasn't moving fast enough for us. So those were cleanups that we had in practice, and I think he just was the beneficiary of that. The other thing that helped was it was others that hit early shots. We come out of the game, it's Brock Christofferson with the first look of the night, a corner pocket three. The contributions from Brady Hilton in the games that Braden Danzizen has had as well, our bigs operating inside. So those things now, when you have that many people contributing, allows him to take what comes to him and really help his game. But that was a good game. At the same time, he's averaging 20-some points a game, so it's not like it's a huge surprise that he goes for 30.
But 8 3-pointers in one game is certainly remarkable,
certainly special.
To be talked about and celebrated. He got a free smoothie out of the deal. He's got to be happy with that.
Yes, he's
and
happy.
And he got the W. Maybe that's a bigger one.
Yeah, we're proud of him, and we're just proud of lots of people in how they've been playing. The contributions are up and down the list. Was it the game before that? It was Levi Loban with a couple threes off the bench.
The
once
Energizer
again.
Bunny, as you're calling
He's
him.
been contributing that way. I thought McCade Nelson's been getting in a good rotation with Tobin Squires and Carter Sapp, and both of those guys have been playing better. They're doing a better job. Just keep the motor running. Type of deal, and moving on to the next play. And then when you get Brady Hilton and come in and having his shots go, we like Carson's washy defensively, and the havoc that he can create a little bit out there on the guard. So it's just going to take a mix of all 12 of our guys. They're the ones that haven't gotten a mention, that there's things that they bring to the table as well, and they know that. And Yeah, we're spoiled. We hope that people can follow us against a tough Dubrook team that's really playing well here. You know, they really took it to Tri-Valley Tuesday night as well. And then on Saturday, we'll play Mobridge Pollock at the World's Only at 11:30. But it just seems so far away because your 1-0 mindset, Dubrook at Dubrook, and it needs to be that way because of how talented they are.
We'll focus on the Dolphins first. They are 6-5 on their season, and we have already talked about Derek Gass has a pretty good crew up there. They're always good. They're always good defensively at the same moment.
Correct.
Usually some good shooters up there, so we'll see what they can bring to the table. Since we've already talked about Dubrook, we'll ask then. We go to the Corn Palace on Saturday. Mobridge Pollock, 6-3 on their season. Maybe that record changes by the time we get to Saturday morning, but probably not, drastically. That's a pretty good Mobridge Pollock team.
Yeah, they're really good. Long size inside, really reminiscent of Dubrook, with the size inside and some length, and then lots of underclassmen surrounded by that. Both teams with experienced guard out front, but then your wings have the sophomore freshman look to it on both of those squads. Both teams are good and real similar to one another.
That game's at 11:30 on Saturday morning at the world's only Corn Palace.
Correct.
Now, you've had some good matchups in the Corn Palace. You've been to a lot of festivals, a lot of classics down there. This is the Hanson Classic. This is not the first time you've done that either. Talk about just the Hanson Classic and some of the battles that have gone in there.
Yeah, it seems like it took us forever to break through and get that invite to go to the Hanson Classic. And when we did, we've pretty much been there every year since. And not that we didn't have teams before that were capable of going there. It just wasn't happening. And once we got it done and kind of got it set into the schedule, we look forward to getting that invite and know that you're always going to play someone good. It's a great event. I feel like it's one of the originals. I know it's not the original Classic because the original was like the Sioux Falls Classic back at the old arena. But this has been a long-standing tradition, one that tries to create that. You're going to find out the week before where your matchup is. So it's kind of that first opportunity typically year in, year out where you have that shot of like number 1 and number 2 playing each other, number 4 and number 5 in the state playing each other, those similar matchups. And I think that's what people are anticipating in the Sioux Valley Mobridge Pollock matchup as well.
I'm just trying to I know I saved it somewhere, that list. There we go. These are the matchups at the Corn Palace. So that first game is going to be White River against Gregory. I don't really know too much about either one of those, but they're they should be pretty well matched up. Mobridge Pollock, Sioux Valley, that's 11:30. Leola Frederick is receiving votes in Class B. They got a matchup against Hanson. That's the host
school.
St. Thomas More sees Dakota Valley. That should be a good one. That is at 2:30 in the afternoon. Lennox and Clark Willow Lake. We've seen the Cyclones. Lennox is a good team in Class A as well.
Yeah, I think number 3 maybe this week, 3 or 4, depending upon what poll you'll look at.
Del Rapids St. Mary just took a tough loss to Castlewood last night. That was probably an epic affair in Del Rapids. They have a matchup against Parkston, who dropped down to Class B, and now they're ranked in Class B.
Parkston's having a season,
Viborg Hurley against Castlewood. That's 7 o'clock, and then it ends the night with Rapid City Christian and Hamlin.
Amazing lineup, and they get this year after year. And I think a part of that is they do their work as to who they want to come there, but then they wait up until pretty much the last minute and have a selection show the Saturday before, so 1 week in advance, and match similar records. And new opponents, so you're not seeing a team a second time. So it's a great opportunity. It's centrally located, so you get the entire state typically kind of committed to that, and we're fortunate to be a part of it, a long-standing tradition, and we're excited. But we can't be too excited. We're looking at Thursday right now,
it's
so
still
it
down
seems
the road,
off
but
in the distance.
It just seems like something that needs to be announced because it's not on the schedule at the start of the season. This was added about a week ago. Now we're just letting people know the information of it. It's 11:30 Saturday morning. Get yourself to the Corn Palace, the world's only Corn Palace. As far as live streaming, I'm not allowed to go. So there's an exclusive live streamer there. That's
Live Ticket?
beavers.liveticket.net, I think is where it's at. So
I think if you followed in the past, it's kind of similar to maybe what it's been the last year or two. So try to tune in. But first tune in Thursday for the Dubrook game. And then Friday night.
Right here. The girls are here.
The girls host Dells.
We're going to talk about that here in a little bit.
Saturday, hopefully follow us to the Corn Palace. We'd like you there in
Yeah.
person, if that could be. But then next Tuesday, our girls go to De Smet, and just something else to mention that our JV team will go along with that. We actually play the varsity game at the Pentagon.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But so our JV boys won't meet at the Pentagon. They'll meet the same day that the JV girls, girl, and varsity girls meet. So that will be Tuesday. A chance, again, an opportunity for our JV to go play De Smet.
Okay. Well, that's all I got for you,
appreciate
Coach.
it. Yes.
I think you've got a player around here somewhere
do.
that you're going to send over to me, so I'll talk about some sponsors while we find.
Okay. Maybe we'll just let one of these guys go since they're standing right here.
Yeah.
And then when the boys roll out, they can hop
We'll
in.
bring Tobin on
All
whenever
right. Sounds
Tobin wants
good.
to come on. Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
That was Bill Vincent, the head coach. Some other sponsors we're going to thank while we're setting this up. Back Alley Meats, a brand new sponsor. Just as of today, Back Alley Meats is on. You're going to have to flip something around there. The microphone, there you go. There you are. Yeah. See, I'm my own producer. I'm the showrunner. I got a lot of things going on, Jamie. It's
You're doing
crazy.
a good job, Salty. You're doing a good job.
Back Alley Meats, a brand new sponsor to all these Sauls Media broadcasts and Sioux Valley Athletics, Buster's Auto Brokers, Nick's Hamburgers, Jimmy John's, the Man Cave Barbershop, and Turf Guard Lawn Service, all proud sponsors of these things right here. Now we talk to the girls' head coach, Jamie Granham. How are you,
Yeah,
man?
good to be with you. I've used some of those sponsors that you're talking about and some good stuff.
Well, I keep going to the people that I use as well. It makes for an easy
just
conversation, man.
Good products, good food,
Yeah.
good service. So, yeah.
A good win for you guys last night in Chester. It was a big output in the second half. It seemed like the shooting struggles a little bit in the first half, and then you guys just exploded. It was Kira Cruz, it was Kaylee Craddock, and Tally Vincent hit 4 threes in the second half.
When you struggle to score and struggle shooting, it seems to affect the energy. We had a lot of comments about our energy's low and the not having fun angle. Well,
Right.
I don't know if you've ever played the sport of basketball before, but when you're not making baskets,
It's not fun.
it's not very fun.
That was my whole career. You just explained my whole career. Yeah.
So we had that going on. The other thing maybe we had going on is just again attacking a zone. We faced a lot of man-to-man defense to start the year. And going against a zone just presents just some different challenges for us, from passing to moving to just kind of the flow of the game. And so I felt it took us a little while to get warmed up to that, to get used to that. Even though we knew coming in that was kind of their style of play, and but luckily we went into the locker room down 5, and we were kind of like, hey, this is probably a pretty good spot to be in, considering we shot about 8%
Right.
in the first half. So
Right.
probably wasn't the best brand of basketball, but like we always talk about, whether it's an individual game or a team game, we want the win. And sometimes you might not play well as an individual, but as long as we get the win at the end of the day, that's what matters, because we're playing such a big team sport.
Well, that was a good Chester team, too. I mean, it was partly because of them, the defense they were playing, of the struggles in the first half. But I think you just, like you said, you went back to fundamentals. You got back to what you know, what you trusted. It was points in the paint with Cruz and Craddock.
Yeah,
and Tally Vincent started hitting threes, man.
Yeah, and I
That's
don't know
a pretty
what
good recipe.
Yeah, I don't know what it looked like either from the stands or from your vantage point, but we felt maybe offensively a little tentative.
Okay.
Like maybe on our heels a little bit, not aggressive, maybe unsure. I always question myself: do I have them that? Do I have them prepared that way, where you're on pins and needles, or you're walking on eggshells, and those types of things that I don't want to have happen. So
Right, yeah.
I felt we loosened up, but obviously loosening up means making shots.
Sure,
And
yeah.
when you make shots, the game becomes pretty easy.
Yeah, and I
when
think that happened to Talia, right? I mean,
It
she
did.
just had to get that
It
first
did.
one in, and then it was a
It
waterfall
did,
of three-pointers.
and you start looking at really, really good shooters, and she's one of the best in the state. Yeah, she started 0 for 7, but she was 4 for her next 7.
Yeah, right.
So that's the type of shooter she has.
Shooter
If she'd
mentality.
have taken 7 more attempts, she'd have been 8 for 14 in the second
Right.
half. So that's kind of how we feel about her, and we're gonna just. I mean, she's got green light. So
Yeah, and she should.
Yep, and
it
she
shows
should.
by that second half. 7-2 on the season so far. Del Rapids, the Couriers, coming up next. That's
Yep.
Friday night right here in the Cossack Center. The Cossack Crazies will be out in full force. This is a Couriers team that is 4-8. Kind of like the Chester team, they have stars in volleyball that play basketball. So what are we expecting?
Probably
on this Couriers team?
a good analogy there. They've got a nice young freshman point guard that leads them, a Thorson girl, and then they also have a girl inside Jersey Schultz that's a left-handed post. They remind me a lot of McCook Central, where they have some athletes. They can junk the game up. We expect a battle. They might be 4-8, but it's one of the bigger Class A schools. Have more kids to draw from kind of in the past and in their history, and they're athletic. So we expect an up and down game and to be challenged again.
Del Rapids to Smith next week. We go to Beersford next week. There is a game against Lakota Tech, Sioux Falls Christian around the corner. Yeah. Dakota Valley. Is that one that I missed that on me taking work off for that? Is that a late addition to the schedule?
That is a late addition.
Okay.
We did not get it in the Dakota State Classic last Saturday.
Right.
So we were out looking for a game, and it happened to be the number 2 team in the state looking for a game too with Dakota Valley. So
right. Well, there you go.
let's put back-to-back number 1 Sioux Falls Christian, number 2 Dakota Valley back-to-back, and you start putting those games together where we take a road trip to Beersford, come home, play a Lakota Tech, and then we also host Sioux Falls Christian. So that's 3 straight days.
3? Yeah, I didn't even realize that. Wow, that's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
So some really top-notch competition. But again, it's
and then you follow it up with a trip to Sioux City on Tuesday.
Follow up with a trip to Sioux City. So I'm looking forward to that stretch. I don't want to look too far ahead. I know the DeSmit game is on my radar too. With just it's just a challenging place to play. Their style, from boys to girls program, they've got a toughness about them. They're not going to back down. They've been in every game, so we expect a battle with DeSmit.
I would imagine.
Tuesday.
Yeah, DeSmit is on the road, right? So we go to the Dog Pound.
Yep.
It was the Dog Pound when I was growing up. Now it's a new gymnasium. It doesn't have the same field. Doesn't have the wood bleachers.
No, it's a lot bigger, a little different environment too.
It is.
A little different environment, but it's good. They support their teams like we support our teams here.
Yeah. Well, it should be a fun one on Friday night when the Warriors come to town. That's a 4-8 squad. You're 7-2 at the moment. Just your thoughts on like the halfway point. Maybe some highlights, maybe some things to work on.
Just really pleased with where we're at.
Yeah.
With the time the kids have put in, the work they do every day in practice. Everything is like check, and we open at Sisseton with one of our losses, played the best big in the state. Kira Cruz played 7 minutes that game, and each game kind of has a little story around it. You were the Hamlin game, and we were a play away. We led for about 9/10 of that game. So we had them on the ropes. That's a top team in the state. Obviously coming forward, we're going to play 3 of the top 5 teams in our class. So we're going to know where we're at.
For sure.
Where do we sit right now in the state of South Dakota? It doesn't really matter right now where we sit. It probably matters where we end up most, but it's always nice to gauge, one as a coach, and I think one as a player, just like, hey, who are we? What are we? What kind of team do we have? And we're going to find out, after 10 days.
A tough stretch.
About 10 days.
Yeah. So we'll have a lot of fun talking about that. We'll do another coach's show in about 2 weeks. I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about then.
Great.
I'll let you get off to practice. We've got 3 players that we need to talk to here. So, Jamie Granum, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you.
A pleasure. And we're going to bring up Tobin Squires. I keep calling you the big man in the middle. Is that a way to call you? Are you the big man in the middle?
Oh, yeah, I am.
Tobin Squires joins us from the... You play in the boys team, right?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, just making sure. Last night, 4 points for you. It was more defense. It was more rebounds. It was probably a lot of fun. You and Carter going back and forth. Not stars offensively yet with your, double-digit points on a regular basis, but you guys make such an impact. You changed a lot of shots last night. So did Carter. Talk about what you guys do in the paint.
Well, just the fact that both of us are around 6'6", 6'7", it really just helps defensively, just being able to anybody that tries to come in, and then offensively, having us just being that tall creates the other bigs and everyone else to have to come out to us and actually guard us, which allows lots of space for people like Maverick, obviously, to just go and drop 30 on any given night. So
he can do that at any time, right?
Anytime.
You're not stopping him from doing that.
Yeah, so it's just, I don't know, just him and I being out there together, too. It helps having someone else who's also that tall, so then I know if I don't got to worry about being the only one.
Yeah.
So it just helps, yeah.
You guys are about halfway through the season as well. The girls are 7-2. I believe you guys are 5-5 now, if I saw that right. That's about halfway. So what are your thoughts so far? It's a junior year for you. You're halfway through it. Some things you love, some things you're working on. What can we expect out of February Tobin Squires?
I mean, I just this team that we got going on. Like obviously, we've had a little rough stretch, and everyone has their opinions. But I know what we're made of, and we just gotta find it because this is our first year playing together, like this exact squad. I mean, this first year we've ever played together. So obviously, it's gonna take some time to get adjusted to. And I just block out everyone else's opinions and just keep grinding and practice, and that's what this team's been doing. And I'm just expecting, I'm expecting another state tournament run out of us, being able to make it there because we just got to keep improving, though, keep grinding and practice and getting there because we do got things to clean up.
It was a tough 3-game stretch, but every other team faces tough stretches. You just had one. I mean, you guys have had sickness go through the locker room as well, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
we
you've
have.
had some guys coughing and hacking. I'm one of them. Yeah.
It hasn't been too fun to see that at practice, but I mean, just finding our flow. We were just really struggling with just being able to flow and just finding our identity during those 3 games. But I think that we're truly just fine, and we'll just keep working away.
It was a good win last night in Chester. Talk about that game last night then. Maverick drops 30. He has 8 3-pointers. You and Carter go back and forth. Talk about some of the defensive things you guys were seeing, some of the rebounding things you guys were able to get some of.
I mean, they just had a lot of guys just like they were really good at moving, and they just had guys who would cut from the backside and just get open down low. And they were shooters too. They just needed to connect on a few more, but they were getting the looks that they wanted sometimes, and we just had to get our checks in because they were just chucking up a lot of threes during the game. So we just had to get our checks, get our box outs, get our boards. Because me and Carter and I, both being taller, obviously we got to lead the team and rebounds, and that's exactly what we did. So
it seemed like it worked pretty well. Was there a refocus then, getting back to fundamentals? It was rebounding, it was defense, it was getting open shots last night. It seemed like all 3 of those phases worked really well. I didn't know if there was a focus on it.
During practice, we've been really getting on it for rebounding and just getting just having effort defensively and energy because those lacked during those 3-game stretches that we had.
Yeah.
So just that's been a focus of ours, just getting kind of just angry at board and just getting that energy to go out there and just board and just dominate. That's what we've been working on.
We're going to see an angry Tobin Squires out there. I like it. Yeah. Yeah, take that smile off your face, sir. Get angry. It's a tough matchup against the Dubrick Dolphins. You've seen the Dubrick Dolphins plenty of times through JV, through C-Team, through junior high probably. Talk about some of the matchups you've had against the Dolphins and what you're going to see tomorrow night.
Well, the Dolphins, it's always been fun. Them, I mean, it's just always good. It's always a fun game to watch. But obviously, I remember like 2 years ago, we dropped like over 100, I think it was, there and tied the 3-point shooting record for Sioux Valley. So hopefully we can go and try to do that again with another 3 night like we just had against Chester, just being able to shoot the ball.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just going out there and competing hard, that's all we really need to do because it's just keep our identity and then just go out there and just be ourselves. That's what we really got to do.
Do you have a 3-point shot in your arsenal? Are we going to see Tobin Squires from the wing dropping them?
I mean, I don't know.
That's a yes. I saw a
know.
yes right there. Did anyone else see that? I saw a yes. No one else saw it. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to speak too much on that.
Dubrick tomorrow night. We go to the Corn Palace, a legendary, You're going to see a pretty good Woodbridge Pollock team, but we'll talk about that probably a post-game tomorrow night or something like that. But thanks for visiting.
No problem.
We've got Macy Top coming over. We got to get you all to practice, so we're just kind of throwing this coach's show in. Thank you, Tobin. And Macy Top from the girls' squad will join us. Macy, how are you?
Pretty good. How are
I'm
you?
Jason. Hello.
Hi.
We haven't really talked before, so
Nope.
it was a good win. We're talking about the doubleheader that happened last night in Chester. What were your thoughts on that win last night in Chester?
I think we played okay. The first half, obviously, our shot we didn't shoot the greatest.
Yeah.
But after that, we came out and we got it done.
It was a legendary conversation that the head coach Jamie Granham had to give you at halftime. What were the words at halftime with what you guys wanted to do? Just kind of a refocus, I think, is the message that I'm
he
getting.
basically said it's a new game. Go out there.
Yeah.
We can't. Yeah. Let's go get it done, I guess.
Talk about your teammates out there. This is your first go around at the varsity level with Sioux Valley. Talk about the teammates and the fun you're having out there with these guys.
It's a really good group of girls. They're fun to play with. I just enjoy getting to play with them.
Yeah.
And they're
It seems like you guys have fun on a regular basis.
Yeah.
There's a lot of smiles out there. Winning helps. I mean,
Yes.
but it seems like you guys are smiling on the bench. You're smiling when you're at practice. You're smiling here. It's a close-knit group.
Yeah,
Am I
it's
right
a good
with that?
environment. Yeah.
Well, that's good. Jamie Granham, kind of the
Yeah.
maestro of that sort of culture, I guess. Just allowing you guys to have fun. Is it easier to shoot? Is it easier to defend and rebound when it is that kind of energy that's around the
Yeah, I
program
think,
at all times?
like all that it brings us, like the good energy. It just helps us, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. We've got a game against Del Rapids on Friday. That's right here. Do
Yeah.
you have a message for any of the Cossack crazies out there? Do we need them all in the building? Yes, we do, right?
Yes. Show up, I guess. Yeah.
Show up. So it is Del Rapids on Friday night, and then we'll head off to DeSmet on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Have you ever played Del Rapids before? You ever played DeSmet before? Any matchups with those guys?
Not like in middle school, like we
Yeah.
have, but
Junior high, C
Yeah.
teams, but it's
Not-
nothing that new to you. It's just the varsity
Yeah.
levels first time.
it's different though. So yeah.
Halfway through this season, then, how are your thoughts on your game right now? Is there something you're working on? Are you happy about this, teammates? What are your thoughts on the first half?
I think it's going pretty well.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm always like I keep working. I'm trying to get better, and I feel like it's good.
Well, it's always fun to call your games out there. So we're halfway through it.
Yeah.
We got a big February coming up. We got a good one on Friday. So we'll see what happens against the Warriors on Friday night.
Yep.
Macy Top, thank you for joining the show.
Yeah, thank
Do we have
you.
anyone else? Amari, you coming over? Sure. Sure is the word. Thanks, Macy. I'll take that from you. One more from the girls' squad, a newcomer. Easy with the cord there. Don't be tripping on that thing. Amari Ward. Welcome to the Cossacks. I'm going to move that up just so we can hear you a little bit. Hi.
Hi, nice
How
to
are
meet
ya?
you.
How are you fitting in with the squad here? It seems like it's been pretty seamless as far as you being a part of this program.
Yeah, I'm really liking it a lot. A little different, but I think this is a good change for me.
I was asking Kira a couple of weeks ago on her interview who the best singer was, who the best dancer was. She said you on both. Is that true?
Yeah.
You own the title on both?
I'd agree with that.
Halfway through the season, where are your thoughts? Your game, how it's going, your transition into being a Sioux Valley Cossack, your teammates. What are your thoughts on the first half of the season?
I think we're doing great as a team. I feel like a lot of improvements. I think my game's growing. I know I'm learning a lot about fouling because I have a tendency to do that, but I think I'm growing a lot as a player and an individual.
You're aggressive on defense, but it's working. I don't know how many steals you had last night, but it had to be, 4, 5, 6? Am I correct on any number or one of those?
Probably around 4.
4? Okay.
Around 4.
It seemed like more. Maybe the other ones were a couple of personal fouls.
Probably.
I don't know.
Probably.
Defending, is that a pride that you have then? You usually are defending one of the better guards on the other squad. Is that a pride moment for you, being able to do that?
Yeah, I feel like defense is really one of my strengths,
Okay.
and being able to bring energy on defense is something that I like to do because it helps the team.
Yeah.
It brings the energy to the team. Being out front, it makes me feel like really special.
Yeah. You got some pretty good teammates that are standing out here just kind of watching us right now. Kira, who says she's not a point guard, but she runs the floor all the time. Is she a point guard?
She does it all.
She says she's not, but it's a running joke that we have on every one of these shows. But
Oh no, she's 100% point guard.
yeah, see, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying too. I say it in the broadcast all the time. She's a point guard. She'll just get the rebound and take off.
Yep.
She went baseline and baseline 3 or 4 times last night.
Yeah, and she real fast too.
Yeah, it's good to see. It's been a lot of fun this season. Del Rapids on Friday night right here at the Cossack Center. Have you ever played against Del Rapids? I mean, you were in Brookings before you got here. You ever seen them?
No.
They're the Warriors. That's their name. They're 4-8 on their season. Del Rapids has a pretty good volleyball team, but they also play basketball. So we'll see what happens on Friday night.
Yep.
Are you healthy? I mean, there's been a lot of sicknesses gone through Sioux Valley, myself included. I'm getting over whatever I had as well with a cough and a hack and sneezing and headaches. You feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
That's
Just making
good.
sure I wear pants, warm clothing after practice.
There you go. Yeah, get vitamin C in you or something, orange juice,
Yep.
something. All right.
It's
Well,
actually my favorite drink.
see? There you go. You're all set up. You're ready.
Yep.
Amari Ward, thank you for joining.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
I'll take the headset from you so you don't walk away with those. Watch the cord there so you don't trip on that. There we go. And one more on the boys' side. The other half of the Twin Towers on the boys' side. Carter Sapp joining the show. Carter, how are you, my man?
Good. How about you?
I'm good. Talk about last night. It was a big game against Chester, big comeback game for the whole squad. Maverick drops 30 on somebody. But I talked about it a little bit with Tobin, that you and Tobin went back and forth with rebounds, with defense. You guys were adjusting shots. Did
Yeah.
you have any blocks last night?
I had one.
You had one?
I think it was in the second quarter,
Okay.
if I remember right. I think.
Sounds like you do.
Yeah.
Talk about the pride that you and Tobin have there in the paint then. I mean, it's been kind of a project from the beginning of the season to right now. You guys are much more aggressive now comparatively to the start of the season.
Yeah.
Feels like you guys know your roles a lot better now. Is that something that can be true?
Obviously, like you said, own the paint.
Yeah.
That's one thing that we kind of preach over here is just get big. Don't let anyone come in and grab the boards.
Yeah, well, you guys are both big guys, so keep up on the good work there. How many rebounds did you have last night? I don't see those stats.
I don't know, around 13, I'd say.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow, nice job. Well, we'll get you on the scoring side of things, too. 2 points and 13 rebounds. There's something missing there.
Yeah.
That could be 10 points and 13
know.
rebounds, and they'd be blowing people out all night.
Yeah.
Well, it's been fun to see. It's 5-5 so far. There's a good matchup against Dubrook tomorrow night. Then you're off to the Corn Palace on Saturday morning. Talk about the Dubrook game. What are you preparing for that Dubrook game tomorrow night?
They have one tall guy that either me or Tobin will have to guard, and we'll actually both have to guard him.
Yeah.
But I've heard they've got a couple of good guards as well, so.
They usually do. That Dubrook squad is usually pretty good. They got a good head coach. Jared Gass is his name. His kid is a sophomore, I believe, on that squad.
Yeah.
They usually have a pretty good Dubrook team. You've probably seen them in JV. You've probably seen them as C team, junior high. You got any stories from the Dubrook days, Dubrook games, anything like that?
When we were little, we prided ourselves in never losing to Dubrook, so.
Well, we'll try to continue that for tomorrow night. But
Yeah.
It's a road game. What are your thoughts on road games to home games? You like being on the bus? You like traveling with the boys?
Yesterday was pretty fun. The bus ride home was actually really quick, we all thought. But road games, I like riding on the bus with the friends and stuff.
Yeah.
The home games are fun too.
Well, yeah, it's good to play in front of the home crowd, but there's something about just being on the road with the boys. It's almost like a rock star feel to it of everyone loads on the bus, you go do a show, you get back on the bus, you come home.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yesterday was a lot of fun.
So, Dubrook tomorrow night, Mobridge Pollock on Saturday morning. We'll talk about Mobridge Pollock probably post-game tomorrow. I'll be
Okay.
calling the game in white, so we'll be fine that way. But congrats on halfway point, the improvements you made, and keep being big in the middle, man.
Thank
keep getting
you.
those rebounds, keep adjusting shots, get those blocks.
Yeah.
Everything's going to be just fine.
I'll try.
Carter Sapp joins us. I'll take that set from you so you don't walk off with those. Careful of the cord so you don't chip on that. And that is going to do it. That is a coach's show for a Wednesday, January 22nd. It's fun. We're going to thank our sponsors one more time. Our exclusive presenter, Bankstar Financial, with locations in Volga, Brookings, and Elkton. Bankstar provides big-time business with a small-town feel. Looking to finance a home? Need a car loan? How's your retirement plan looking? Stop in today to chat with local professionals. Bankstar Financial, proud sponsor of Sioux Valley Athletics and the Sauls Media broadcasts. We're also going to give a shout out to Bell Brands, the makers of the mini baby bells. That is the Snap. Peel one today. CC's Bar and Grill right here in downtown Volga. GP Auto, the fantastic repair shop on the east side of Brookings. Health Source Chiropractic, our sponsor of the Health Source halftime show. Precision Risk Management, the third quarter stats. Shorty's Hot Box Food Truck, the final stat sponsor, and our player of the game sponsor. Thank you to Ann for being a part of this. Tropical Smoothie Cafe. They give out a free smoothie to the player of the game for all Sioux Valley basketball games this season, which is fantastic. We're also going to give a shout out to Back Alley Meats, a brand new sponsor as of today. So thank you, Back Alley Meats. Get down there and try the bundles. Their slogan is small town quality with a big city selection. So get on down to Back Alley Meats, a fantastic locker. Buster's Auto Brokers in Mitchell, right on the corner, right on the price. Nick's Hamburgers, legendary hamburger spot in downtown Brookings. Jimmy John's, the Freaky Fast Sub Shop, right on 6th Street in Brookings. The Man Cave Barber Shop, the unofficial SDSU football team haircutters there on South Madera, right across from Brookings High School. And Turf Guard Lawn Service. Get a jump on your lawn care. Contact the local pros. Turf Guard will take care of you. That is our coach's show. We've got boys game in white, playing on the Dubrook Dolphins tomorrow night. Friday night, the girls are in town here at the Cossack Center. The Del Rapids Warriors right here on Friday night. That's a 7:30 start, I think, for the varsity. Saturday morning, the boys are off to the World's Only Corn Palace. They're going to play Mobridge Pollock. And then next week, it's a big matchups with DeSmit and Beersford. We'll talk about all of those future matchups down the road. But thanks for tuning in, everyone. This has been a Sauls Media broadcast of Sioux Valley Athletics right here on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button at the same time. YouTube loves subscribers, so I do too. The bigger numbers we get, the more leeway that YouTube will give us, which is just fine. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll talk to you tomorrow night from Dubrick, live from the Dubrick High School.